In 1991, Pablo Escobar, the most powerful drug lord in history, was backed into a corner. The Colombian government was under international pressure, the U.S. wanted him extradited, and the war he waged against the state had left thousands dead. But Pablo? He had one last move. He offered to surrender, but only if he could build his own prison. And somehow the Colombian government said yes. They thought it would reduce violence. Instead, it gave Escobar even more power. He called it La Catedral. But it wasn't a prison, it was a mountaintop mansion. He picked the land, he chose the guards. He designed the entire structure from scratch, like a king building a castle. It had a soccer field, a nightclub, a jacuzzi, a giant living room with a fireplace, his own private chef, and even a waterfall, his prison cell. It was more luxurious than most Colombian homes. TV, phone lines, giant bed, and a view overlooking Medellin. Pablo was technically incarcerated, but he was actually running the Medellin cartel from inside. His most loyal lieutenants visited freely. Drugs were still being moved. Cash still flowed. Murders were still ordered, with some even happening inside the prison. The Colombian authorities weren't allowed in without permission. When U.S. agents asked to inspect the prison, Pablo told the government he'd burn the country to the ground if they let Americans inside. And the government, terrified of more car bombs, backed down. The truth? La Catedral wasn't just a hideout. It was a business headquarters, a sanctuary, and a throne. Pablo used his time there to strengthen operations, silence enemies, and even host parties. At night, helicopters would land silently to drop off prostitutes, food, weapons, and sometimes even other criminals on the run. But the illusion didn't last forever. In 1992, Escobar ordered the torture and murder of two cartel members inside La Catedral, men he accused of stealing from him. Their screams were reportedly heard outside the prison walls. That's when the Colombian government finally said enough. They made a plan to relocate him to a real military facility. But Pablo already knew. He had spies on the inside and outside. So days before the transfer, he escaped, using a secret tunnel he'd built underneath the prison from day one. By the time soldiers arrived, he was gone. No shootout, no resistance, just gone. The man the entire world wanted to arrest had simply walked away from the very prison he built. For the next 16 months, Pablo Escobar became the most hunted man on earth. The CIA, DEA, Colombian Special Forces, and even rival cartels all wanted him dead. But in many ways, La Catedral gave him a head start. He'd used the time inside to plan his future, move assets, and prepare for war. The audacity of it all stunned the world. Here was a man who built an empire off cocaine, murdered thousands, and defied governments, and when finally locked up, he lived like a king, escaped without a scratch, and vanished into the jungle. Today, what's left of La Catedral still stands. It's been converted into a monastery by monks, but the original structure remains. The soccer field, the jail bars that never locked, the bullet holes in the walls, and the luxury bedroom where Escobar slept with a gold-plated pistol under his pillow. It serves as a haunting reminder that in Pablo's world, power was everything, and La Catedral wasn't a prison. It was a monument to how far that power could go.